Facts.
So the power rankings in the East from NBA.com has number one seed. I'll list it off real quick,
Go ahead.
and then we'll kind of go into which one surprises us the most, and maybe if they could be replaced by somebody as well, or some team. Excuse me. So the number one, we have Boston. They went to the finals. No real surprise there, and they also got Malcolm Brogdon. Number two, Bucks. Y'all know how the Bucks are, especially with Chris Middleton hopefully becoming fully healthy here and be able to pull in a full
I
season.
mean, yeah, that's another thing. We were already saying they go back to the finals if Chris Middleton's not hurt. So
Yeah,
it's
facts.
fair. It's low-key shocking they didn't put him one again too, but it is what it is. I'm not
yes,
complaining.
that
I'm not
part, what
complaining.
you said. The only reason I feel like they're not number one is because they got Malcolm Brogdon with the Celtics and they just went to the finals. Number three,
Can't argue.
76ers. Above the Miami Heat, who was a number one seed.
That's a tough one, bro.
Number four.
Yeah, sent them home.
Yeah. Number four, Miami Heat. Number five, the Toronto Raptors.
They're always number 5 every year, though.
I don't want it no more.
Number five, the
Laugh
Toronto
at 'em.
Raptors.
Laugh at
Get
him.
them, gifted.
They fucking.
Number six, we have the Bulls above the Nets. Nets at number 7 above the Atlanta Hawks, who just acquired DeJounte.
Yeah,
And then you have at number 9, the Cavaliers. Gifton,
Hanyan.
what is the first thing that surprises you about this list?
that Boston's number 1?
Really?
Yeah, that Boston's number 1. I like Boston. Boston, they got KD up out of there. They went 7 with Milwaukee, 7 with the Heat. But let's be real, like you guys have just said, if Chris was still playing, it'd have been Milwaukee and Golden State instead of Boston and Golden State.
Hey, they're up 3-2 without Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Before Steven answers here, let me just give in a little bit more information about the Celtics here. Malcolm Brogdon, Danilo Gallinari are key additions in the offseason so far. In the regular season, though, this was really interesting to me. They were 38-9 in non-clutch games, so they were just kind of blowing out people. They were 13-22 in clutch games, so this is considered, I think,
The Celtics?
within 5 points in the last 5
The
minutes.
Celtics were?
The Celtics were 13-22.
Damn.
We seen how they were and how they were breaking down in the postseason.
That's
It's kind of
crazy.
like the Utah Jazz in that type of way.
Nah,
And
because
the Utah Jazz are way worse, but I'm saying
okay,
there's
okay,
a little
okay.
bit of similarities in that part.
I mean, I guess for me, like, I mean, yeah, I knew they were blowing teams out like that, but damn, like, I did not realize they were playing that badly in like clutch games. That's pretty crazy.
Well, we seen how they were
And to
playing
still-
in
well,
the postseason,
it-
so that
no,
was kind of
in the postseason it did show.
yeah.
But had I known that stat before the postseason, I wouldn't have even counted. Yeah, I would.
I
yeah,
wouldn't have picked them to go to
No.
the
to go
to
to,
the finals at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have been the guys that I would have picked against.
yeah.
I would have been shocked. Well, yeah, it would have been more shocking to me they made the finals if that was their stat, too. Because, I mean, they did win some close ones here and there through the playoffs, but not all their wins were like that either, though, too.
Well, even against the Miami Heat, they had to really blow them out to win. It was a blowout every
I
single
know,
game until
yeah.
like the final 2
Because
games.
they even had some games they blew leads. against them.
Exactly. Okay, so they acquired Malcolm Brogdon. Let me give you this little piece too and see what you have to say. He averaged Malcolm Brogdon, new guy to the team. Remember how they were with the turnovers, a ball handler type of situation,
He's definitely
and
gonna
they
clean
have
all
He's
that
not
up.
that. Yeah. he's
they
not
have
that.
a
He's
lot
definitely
of
cleaned that
drive and kick type of system here. Malcolm Brogdon
Yeah.
averaged almost 6 more drives per game, 18.3, and had the lowest turnover rate, which was a problem for not only Jaylen Brown but also Jason Tatum in the playoffs when it comes to the turnover rate on
Hey.
drives.
I believe it.
So let me get on to mine right here. Of course, you guys already know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Miami Heat. You're a number 1 seed, and now they're having you as a number 4 against 2. What?
That's your most surprising one?
Yes,
Okay.
I don't understand why they're number 4 here.
Yeah.
When you look at you have Boston, Bucks, and the 76ers in front of them, and I would say, I believe because of the results and how things happen that Boston and Bucks should be considered in front of them. But my team hasn't really lost anybody compared to these other guys, right? The
Yeah.
76ers. We don't know what they're going to be, especially with the next kind of coming days.
Facts.
The only thing is that we lost PJ Tucker and we lost him to the 76ers. So I guess
Yeah.
I get that part. But let me say this much. They had the best.
PJ is expandable. You can.
He is.
PJ is expandable.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
He wasn't expendable for the Bucks, maybe, but even then, I still think they could have got back to the
Well,
finals
I'm just
again.
saying, if I'm the Heat, I'm not really missing PJ Actually, shit, that's a tough
Well,
one.
okay, this is why we're going to miss him. Because we have no other power forwards to really take in that spot now.
Right.
Let me even consider this part. We were the number 1 seed, and we had Butler, Adebayo, and Kyle Lowry miss a total together of 70 games. 70. So, with
That's
that
a
being
lot,
said,
bro.
we still
Kyle
were the number
Lowry
1
probably
seed.
was like 48 of them.
And then at the end of the season, everybody was injured. Even Tyler Hero came out and was saying that type of stuff. I truly believe that, we should be a lot higher. But, hey, it's no different from last year into this year coming that we are definitely getting, underrated.
I
once
feel
again.
that. I would say for me, it's the Hawks and the Cavs, bro. Like,
They should be higher.
yeah.
So to
Okay.
recap,
Both-
Hawks are
both
8 and
should be
Cavs are
higher.
9.
The Hawks made.
Both behind the Nets.
Yeah. For one, the Hawks.
Wild.
These Hawks, I mean, honestly, the last 2 years for the Hawks, I would say they were more impressive in the Nets in the postseason for me. So off
Yes.
that, put them higher. The Cavs, realistically, with Jared Allen playing, they would have
I
sent the
remember
Nets
that.
home.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
We watched how the Nets struggled to even get in, bro. The Cavs would have sent them home with Jared Allen playing. I'm sorry. And the Cavs are also a good team. I don't think they took any losses. They're getting Colin Sexton back. They did good this offseason. I don't think he'll take away from Garland because Garland is a playmaker. Like, give it to Sexton. That nigga's have him, let him shoot. That's what you want him to do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they're gonna do between him and Caris LeVert with being the sixth man, but like, yeah, that there is like
Collins
some-
coming off the bench. They're not touching that.
But
Collins-
Caris LeVert can be a
Yeah,
great sixth man though. That's
inside-
why you still have to consider that.
Inside, they want Karis LeVert. That's what's been reported. Let me
Right.
kind of get onto
That's
what you
fair.
were saying about the Hawks now, right? Because I agree with you. Why are they so low? They should
Hawks
at
should
least
not
be
be
above
a-
the Nets, and
they
they
should
should at
be at
least be
least-
above the Bulls.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely by the Bulls for me.
Now, we
but-
already said it, though. If Lonzo Ball is there, that's a totally different team. So we'll see how that goes in the health of
If
Lonzo
You're
Lonzo
right,
Ball more
but I
than
still
15
would kind of
games.
put the Hawks over the Bulls, even if they have Lonzo there.
Okay,
bro.
that's a little
I'm
bit.
sorry.
I feel like that's a little bit more like of a debatable thing. We have to see more games,
That's fair.
especially with this newly acquired DeJounte Murray. Without losing that much, maybe DeJounte.
That's why, I
DeAndre
mean-
Hunter was the worst loss.
I guess for me, but because they didn't lose
Kevin
much
Huerter.
and they were.
Kevin Horter. What did I say? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
fucked up.
Kevin Horter is not a loss if they got DeJounte.
Not really. No.
I don't even know
Nah.
what the fuck.
Because
what person I
don't-
said.
DeAndre-
He wasn't like
DeAndre
he
Hunter.
wasn't an alpha. He wasn't aggressive. He was just a spot up.
So
He
get a
was
great
okay.
defender in DeJounte.
That's
Better.
Let me tell you this much.
Even better.
Yeah.
So Young and Murray, right? They ranked 4th and 9th in the lowest percentage of their buckets that were assisted. So it is going to be figuratively with the evidence that we have a your turn, my turn type of system so far. Young had 16.9% of his buckets
Maybe.
off of assists, and Murray had 27.4% percent of his buckets off of assists. And-
I hear you, but I feel like that would probably be coming from them also just both being the number one guys, and for the most part, if we're looking at the Spurs and the Hawks with them as the number ones individually, did they have guys who they really could go give it to and could do something on the team? Trey definitely didn't.
Mhm.
That's why they got DeJounte, and I don't think DeJounte did anymore once DeMar was gone. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be them waiting for each other's turns. I think DeJounte.
I hope not.
Like, I don't definitely because it's
They're
DeJounte.
fucking
I
good.
don't think it's gonna be that because it's DeJounte too. Because he's not that type of player that's just gonna be like, oh, this is my shit. I'm about to take. Like, I don't think he's coming with that mindset, bro. I
They
think
shouldn't.
I
And we seen it in that pro
and I just but he shouldn't. And we also we have to remember he's coming from Pop. That system, like, that's not even how he's brought up to be.
Yeah. And then let's think about this much too. The Hawks were also in the previous 3 seasons, I think,
Yeah.
ranked in the bottom 5 defensively in 3 of Young's 4 seasons in the league. So they had the league's biggest differential between their record
Offense
at
and
home
defense. Oh, okay.
and their record on the road. So on the at home, 27-14 this last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good, and we always say, hey, when you go back to the A, it's different.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the road, 16-25. Defensively, though,
I mean,
with
a
that
couple
man on
games
the wing,
difference.
DeJounte, He
That
led
should
the
help-
league in
that
not
should
only
help,
steals but also defensive. How do you call it?
Deflections?
Deflections.
Yeah.
There you go.
Makes sense.
And so you're
He's
you're
long,
strengthening
bro.
a lot of different things here.
Yeah.
They should definitely be above the Nets. Let me say that much.
No, for sure.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,